Welcome to this podcast.
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys! This weekend at the Texas Motor Speedway.
You should have gone to bed. We look like we're dead.
I am. I know I am. I went to bed last night. Like, I got on after we got off talking. I went and got on iRacing for a little while.
That iRace would be killing you.
Well, no, I was done at. I was done at like 9:30 because I go in to do iRacing, and at some point Molly had went back there cleaning up or whatever and unplugged my screen.
So is that pretty common with iRacing, or do a lot of people make their races on time?
Everybody makes their races on time for the most part.
Not everybody.
It happens. It's just like real life, I guess. What are you listening to?
Well, I was checking some Tik Toks.
Just in the middle of us recording a podcast.
Well, yeah. Oh, are we recording?
I told you I was going to come in and hit the record button.
I didn't even know. Well, good morning. You should at least do good mornings.
No, we are not doing the good morning stuff. We're just rolling and letting
we're just starting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry, y'all. We're tired as hell.
Yeah, we are.
I didn't know we were recording. I thought this was just Andy and Ray talking.
Well, that's what this podcast is.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, all right. Anyway, well then I guess I don't know. I was just seeing we're up to 148,000 views on our Tik Tok with Kyle.
Yeah.
All of us screaming out the window at him. So
Kyle!
I love you guys.
Again, it just baffles me what goes, what gets a lot of views on TikTok and what doesn't.
Stupid.
Like the
I
one
still stand by my statements.
That one Kyle has, it's got 1.46 million views, and it's just him reversing a video he did 2 months ago.
All right, so I'm really disappointed in myself. Why did I not do this first? Check this video out in reverse.
But the original has like 748,000 views.
Does it? I didn't think it had that many. Yeah,
it's where he's putting the door handle on.
Yeah.
Because I think it blows a lot of people's mind that the cars don't actually have door handles. I don't know why. I mean, it is interesting that we put stickers on to look like door handles. Until we started running this, I guess I never even noticed. Do all the teams do it? Or do we just do it?
I don't know. As far as I know, I really never paid attention to it.
I honestly don't know that before we started working with Kyle, I ever noticed a door handle or a sticker of a door handle. I mean, I knew everything was stickers.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I ever noticed a handle sticker.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing that when we were doing our template, and I wonder if it's just because our template has a door handle on it that it gets printed. I really don't freaking know.
It could. I would think it would be somewhat a standard thing because, of course, NASCAR wants the cars and the manufacturers want the cars to look like the cars on the street.
Yeah, and they do. Not at all. Not
the
at
new
all.
Cup cars do. The next gen cars look more like.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, it's early. It's actually, I've been up for an additional while.
Yeah.
So we get stuff rolling here. But so anyway, well, hell, if we're doing a podcast, we just talk about podcast stuff, which is, I don't know if I'll ever catch up on sleep from this weekend.
No, that's what I was getting ready to say. It's like this weekend killed me. Honestly, we were pretty tame this weekend compared to most other weekends.
Well, because we would be dead had we not been.
The heat, the heat zapped me Saturday. I know that Sunday when I woke up, it was like I was just dead tired. And then I got somewhat human, walked outside, and the heat said, not today, punk, and slapped me in the face. And it was like, nah.
You think it was the heat?
Yeah.
Do you think it was the heat, or do you think it was the 3 empty bottles of empty handles that I cleaned up the next morning from you in the group?
No, it was the heat.
Perfect. Remind me to tell Amanda that, because that's what happened to me on Saturday morning. It was the heat.
Yeah. Well, we really didn't spend a whole lot of time in the super hot sun Friday, so you don't have that excuse.
Yeah. Well, I toughed my way through it all day Saturday.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Doing pit tours and everything else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my little watchy thing said I walked 22 miles over from Friday to Saturday.
For anybody who's watching this, because, we got our new intro done. I'll have Madison send that over. We got a cool intro. They animated our logo. You saw it?
Yeah, I put a note in Asana that said it looks cool.
God dang, I gotta start checking Asana.
You gotta start.
Anyway, for anybody who's watching this and sees that I'm constantly looking down, I'm on my phone trying to figure out how to make these apps work. And I'm about 0.2 seconds from throwing this phone through a wall because I can't figure it out. How do I change the day of activity?
I don't know. You know, I don't even know where my phone's at.
It says in the past 7 days, I've climbed 3 flights. That doesn't seem like reasonable to me. Friday, I did nothing.
Well, it sometimes it'll mess up and count like walking into the elevator and the elevator going up. So and walking up and down the place in front of the campsite. You did that a couple times.
Oh wait, I might have just found something. See, I only did 15,000 steps on Saturday. That shit don't seem like real to me. Because you're supposed to walk 10,000 a day. You know how many steps we walked on Saturday?
I walked a ton.
This isn't real.
Yeah, I don't know.
My phone must not be functioning. Maybe
even
we
if
need to do a Wolfpack challenge on TikTok. Like the Wolfpack Let's Not All Die challenge and just like do like the 20-pound drop.
Yeah.
God, 30-pound drop.
Yeah, like so I've been doing intermediate fasting, but I get down to like
intermittent.
Intermediate. What
Intermittent.
What did I say?
Intermediate. Intermediate is more of what we're doing, like halfway fasting. Yeah, that's probably it.
Intermediate is the correct term, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Now one of us is going to sound like an idiot.
That's fine. This won't be the first time.
I believe that it's not going to be me. It's intermittent fasting. If you type in intermediate fasting, it literally says, do you mean intermittent fasting?
Yeah, you're correct.
Yes. Yes.
Even if good, but the thing is, even if
already
Google
off to a
had
good
told you
start.
that it was intermediate fasting, you would tell me that Google was wrong.
Well, yeah, because Google would be wrong in that situation. Because that's one of the spots where I already know Google would be wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, so but
we
yeah,
can't do podcasts in the morning unless we're doing it like 2 a.m.
Well, I've already decided I'm never taking any recording equipment to another race ever again.
I was set up. I was ready.
You were not. I had everything set up on the table, and I was like,
I went
ready?
over and put my drink and my hat by it and was like, whenever you're ready. And then you sat over by the other camper and had your little team discussion.
No, I was sitting there waiting on you, and
I was asking Amanda about 10 times. I'm like, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do this. I'd Bobby all them.
Well, why didn't you come tell me and get me? I was waiting on you.
Oh, well, then that was a miscommunication. We got to get our I don't know how we speak minds without speaking, but I thought you were in other conversations about all the other stuff that had gone on.
No, we were just sitting on there bull crapping, waiting.
Oh,
I was just waiting.
I was ready.
Deep conversations going on by any means.
Yeah, because we had all the equipment set up for like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I had even talked about wanting to turn the camera so we had the whole track behind us rather than these little backdrops. Should have took a picture of the track and then we could have just changed our backdrops on this. We could have made it look like we're at Texas right now.
Yeah, I don't know that you could actually do that on StreamYard.
I don't know either.
I don't know,
but I know I haven't caught up on sleep. I know I'm trying, and I know it's going to get better. But the hardest part is that you do that all weekend. You entertain. We left Thursday. Did we fly in on Thursday?
Yeah, we flew in Thursday.
Thursday night, Friday night. You're entertaining. You're with clients. You're with friends. You're having a blast. Monday, you get up, you fly home, you drive home, you're absolutely exhausted. You get home at 3, 4, 5 o'clock. And Tuesday morning, the world starts. You just don't ever get a break.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. I'm not complaining. I love what we do. I'm glad I'm not going to a race this weekend.
Very true.
I
got to drive. I'm driving down to Florida Saturday, so that's going to be fun.
How far is the drive for you guys to Florida?
10 hours.
Well, that's not bad.
It's not bad, but after I'm not going to be recovered by then for sure.
I could drive to Superior on Sunday.
How far is that? That's
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll get there Saturday, and then I think it's action packed the rest of the week. You know how vacations go, right? You know, you pretty much run the whole damn time you're on vacation and don't get to chill or whatever. And
Did we get any videos? So let's talk about some fun stuff from the weekend. Did we get any videos of anyone being drunk this weekend?
Nah.
Who's the drunk award go to this weekend?
Has to be Dakota.
Do you think so?
Or
I was gonna say Alyssa. We got Alyssa. She got pretty hammered up and was a lot of fun. Everybody was great. In all honesty,
it was a good time.
We had a lot of people. We had a lot of fun. But as I was looking through it, I was trying to remember who. And I think Dakota. We got him to sing on Thursday night, right? That was Thursday night that he sang.
Yeah.
So he sang on Thursday night. So Brock lost that bet. And then Sunday night, where he tipped up and drank a quarter bottle of Fireball. I think that
I didn't see that, but I heard about it.
We were passing the bottle.
He got so turned at so quick.
Yeah, so he was there. He had a couple drinks, and then we did Amanda's Fireball shot. We got everybody lined up, did that big group Fireball thing. And then I grabbed the other bottle and we started passing it. And I was like, y'all, welcome to Wolfpack. When we open a bottle, we drink a bottle, right? Like there's no reason to keep a cap. So I just threw the cap. Same thing you always do with a bottle of Fireball. We were passing around, and then I'm like, come on, Dakota. And I brought him over, and he's like, you are a bad influence. I'm like, if I'm a bad influence, you should finish this bottle. And he just looked at me, and he tipped it up and just went. Yeah. And I was like, uh-oh.
I think he's one that accepts challenges.
For sure.
You know what I mean? You don't, and handles them very well.
So Brock basically said we couldn't get him to pass out.
Yeah, we didn't.
He drank that in about 20 minutes. He couldn't hardly stand up. So I took him over and took a 64-ounce, and I splashed some vodka in it, and then I put 2 cans of Sprite and a half a thing of pineapple juice in it, so that there was alcohol in it, but maybe a shot in a 64-ounce jug. Yeah. And I was like, just keep drinking this, and gave him a water too. Because you know what? In that heat, and I've been that guy, he was going to have a real rough day.
What I will say is, I mean, I guess we did. I don't know, but I just don't feel like we turned on like we normally do. But I will say,
I don't think we turned on like we did in Daytona.
Nah. To the crew that was there, and they went pretty hard. A couple of them, they got up and was rolling the next day in that heat and handled business and did what they needed.
Yeah,
to do.
Big props to the Big Frig crew for I got to throw it out that the Big Frig crew hung with Wolfpack, which not many have been able to do. Because what we do is drink, and we drink heavy at night, and we have a lot of fun. We drink all day, and then we get done. We drink heavy. Yeah. At races, not normally. And then a lot of people usually crash, go to bed, whatever the case is, and don't make it up. Like there's a lot of guys you don't see till 3:00 the next day.
Scottish Robert pulled that on us. We didn't see him.
Yeah, he did. and Bobby. So we have Bobby. Now we had 2 Bobbies. This is so confusing. We need friends.
So does MD Robert go by Bobby?
MD Robert, he goes by Robert to everybody, said, unless his friends all call him Bobby. Okay. And I'm like, well, then hell you Bobby to us. So it's Robert and Bobby now. But so we had 2 Bobbies now and only 1 Robert. So that's always interesting. But he ghosted out. He said he was just spent on Saturday. So he was gone.
Rough, man. That heat was rough on everybody.
It was horrible. And I don't know what to do about that.
There's nothing to do about it. I mean, what do you do? There's no shade. Okay, so we had tents set up, which was fine at 12 o'clock because if you're under it and the sun's above you, but as soon as it crests over, we're facing west basically. Yep. So the sun goes right across the track, across the grandstands, and guess where it's pointing the whole time? Yeah. When all the races were going on, the sun was just coming right through the tent, so it was really no shade. You're sitting on concrete, which is just white concrete,
miserable,
reflecting the sun up to you. Like Saturday, when I took the first crew down, you took us down to the pits for me to give the first tour to go around. Like we were walking around, there was no breeze at all.
No.
Like, I mean, you're
once
in
you
a bowl,
get down into the track.
You're in a bowl, so there's no breeze that comes around. So you're walking around on asphalt and metal or buildings around you just reflecting the sun. So it's just and then we help him push the cars up that hill, man. I thought some of the mechanics were going to die. Like, it was.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever pushed a NASCAR.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, I guess, cool. You know, happy to help out and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, whoever designed Texas Motor Speedway, like, really?
Trying to kill the mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a steep ass little hill.
It is.
And Teddy just kept hollering when we turned to go.
Jump
Get
in.
it.
What the lady told us. So they had impounded the cars in the Cup garage.
Yeah.
And so there was one guy when we tried to go in, he's like, this garage isn't open till tomorrow. I was like, you realize that's Xfinity cars over there, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no, this car. I was like, all right, whatever. Well, then you and Amanda got in somehow. I guess the guy was gone or whatever. So you messaged me and said, hey, we're over here by the car, da, 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 da. So I bring the rest of it. We went to Torchy's, and, you know, the guys wanted a drink, a couple beers while we're in Torchy's. So I got them a couple beers, and I got a, trailer trash taco, which was excellent, by the way.
What's a trailer trash taco? We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Or you can tell it now.
Yeah, it's basically, I mean, it was basically like a taco, but instead of it being like hamburger steak or just like shredded chicken or whatever, it was a fried chicken tender in a taco with all the taco stuff on it. It was
what?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm making those at home now.
So it's like a wrap?
Yeah, basically a wrap, but it was a taco. I mean, no, it was
so it's a chicken tender wrap that they call the white trash trailer trash taco.
Trailer trash taco, yeah, it was a taco.
The
difference between a wrap and a taco is it's a wrap with lettuce, like, and it's a salad basically wrapped in the tortilla shell, right? This was
What?
What's the difference?
So what's the difference between what's the difference between a chicken strip salad? And explain to me the difference between what would you do if you had a chicken strip wrap versus a chicken strip taco? What's the difference?
Basically, a chicken strip wrap around, like a chicken
strip wrap has lettuce.
From Chick-fil-A has lettuce, ranch dressing, and some cheese on it wrapped up.
And what did your trailer trash taco have in it?
It had
lettuce, chicken strip,
lettuce, tomato, or lettuce, cheese, salsa, sour cream, guacamole, and a chicken tender. So it was a chicken tender taco.
So rather than ranch, you had a guacamole and salsa and sour cream.
So what's a taco then? What's the difference between a taco and a ranch? I mean, it was seasoned like a taco would be, like a.
I don't know. Yeah, so taco season. Yeah, no, I'm just asking. I really don't know what the difference between a wrap and a taco is at this point when you're in soft shell.
A wrap. I mean, I guess a wrap to me, I think about a wrap. I think about like the Chick-fil-A, like chicken Caesar wrap. It's basically what a Caesar salad wrapped in a shell. Which
would also be like a taco.
Burrito at that point.
Oh, I'm so confused. I have no idea. Hey, whatever. All right. So anyway, back.
Trying to ruin my excellent taco. You just want to ruin everything I do with.
No, I'm trying to figure out what the difference between a chicken taco and a chicken tender is, or chicken tender wrap. We're good.
Are we good? Because
we're good.
You're still confused about it.
No, I'm good. I got it. I'm 100%. I'm picking up what you're dropping from right here.
You just want to move on. Is what it boils down to.
No, I just think this one we don't know. That's what I'm going to spend for next week's episode. I'm going to spend the rest of this week researching the difference between a wrap and a taco.
Yeah. So we go around and then we get inside to where you guys are, and we're standing over there for a while, and then all of a sudden the same little dude that told us the garage was closed goes, "Yo, you guys got to leave." Say, what? We got? Yeah, they're saying y'all got to leave. Okay, well, let's walk the 10 feet to the gate and stand there.
Yeah.
But Teddy's saying the whole time, I don't give a shit what they say. When we turn that corner, y'all need to help push.
That's exactly right.
So
yeah, because that guy came over. He's like, "You guys can't be here," and you guys all started leaving. I was like, "Well, I'm standing right here." I'm like,
"Yeah,
it is what it is." But we pushed the car out. So yeah, let's talk racing. Let's start to talk about Xfinity. I mean, we'll start with the truck race. We should start with the dirt track. The dirt track was kind of one of the highlights of the weekend. So we ended up getting a suite. Thanks to our buddy Steve hooked us up down with Texas Motor Speedway. Steve got us hooked up. Got a deal worked out. Got a suite for us over at the dirt track because it was miserable hot. And we had spent the day setting up. What we expected to take like an hour to set up took like 6. It was hot.
Why did it though? Because I felt like we had got our stuff was mostly done, and then
our stuff was. I think there was just a lot.
Yeah.
On the front stretch, and when you're doing it for the first time, I mean, I think that we, as in you and I, we had a lot of plans of what we were going to do. But remember, in all honesty, Ray, you and I on Friday morning were outside working by 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and I don't care who you are.
Hot.
When you start at 7 and it's 75, 80 degrees, and it takes a couple hours to get something done versus the other crew who started at 11 and it was 96 degrees, they're going to be slower.
Yeah.
But I think me and you spent a lot of time just figuring tables out and stuff like that, but it was good. But I think the fan zone side, we had your map where we had drawn stuff out and we kind of knew exactly where everything was going to go and what our plan was going to be. And I think they had an idea, but they hadn't mapped it yet. Mm-hmm. And so I think their setup stuff will go a lot smoother in the future.
Yeah.
And things will be a lot better as far as that goes. But so from there, we went dirt track racing. So that was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. I know we rode through there earlier in the day, just checking out the cars in the pits and all.
Oh, yeah.
We got yelled at for that, too. We got yelled at a lot this weekend.
Yeah, well, in our defense, we took the golf cart out onto the edge of the track so I could take a picture of a sign.
Well, the guy told her we asked permission to drive the golf cart back there, and the Texas Motor Speedway guy, I'm not going to mention, said, "Oh, yeah, go ahead."
Yeah, I don't know that we asked him if we could drive around the wall on the outside of the track. We asked if we could pull the golf cart over there. And he said, yeah, go ahead. Now, we didn't say where we intended to stop. We didn't say any of that. But we made it around. We went down to the pits. And what that guy is all pimping ain't easy on the back of the 69 car.
X. Yeah.
Yep,
so I sent you – they interviewed him on Facebook. That's that link I sent to you that you were like, what is this? When I sent you the link, you said your boy.
Yeah, it didn't come through with that. It just brought me a bunch of my videos.
Why? I send you links sometimes like that, and they work, and sometimes they don't. I don't know.
You should just tag me in it.
Yeah.
Although I don't ever look at Facebook, so
that's what I was going to say. If I don't send it to you in a link, you're not going to.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
So they were interviewing that guy, which he was massive. Like, I mean,
that
guy,
dude.
That's a big dude.
Didn't I take a picture with that?
Yeah. Because you went and asked him permission because
he was the giant human being.
Yeah, and I was like, because I looked at who was with. So it was me, you, and Amanda, and somebody else was with us.
I imagine Bobby.
Was it Bobby? I don't know. It may have been, but
I'm pretty sure because in one of our tiki-takis, Amanda has a thing and with all of us driving around and took a selfie with the group.
Yeah. Because we were sitting there.
Is that when we went and commentated the go-kart racing? Okay.
Yeah. So that was Bobby, man. So because me and Bobby stayed on the car, you and Amanda jumped off to go get the picture, and you went you went to the guy and asked the guy, and Bobby's like, "Why is Andy? Andy doesn't ask permission for anything."
No.
I said, you see this size of that guy? I said, and you don't play around with guys' race cars like that.
Hell no.
And
the tire is heavy.
Yeah.
Tires are heavy, and that guy was carrying 4 of them bastards like they were grocery bags coming in from Walmart. I'm like, sir, would you mind if I took my picture by the pimpin' ain't easy on the back of your car? I'm like,
you sound like that guy on TikTok that does the white people stop thing. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Sir.
Hell yeah. Sir. Do not do that. The white people stop it, white people.
Stop it, white people. White people, stop it.
If y'all are not on Tiki-Taki, first off, get on Tiki-Taki. Yeah. It's actually TikTok. Tiki-Taki comes from my wife being super pissed off and annoyed when I say that, so it's becoming a permanent thing. But
I
first
think we
thing
made that a thing this weekend too, because I heard several people say Tiki-Taki.
Everybody did.
Yeah, and Amanda was not liking it.
No, I can't. Somebody else even came up to me and was like, "Are you guys filming any Tiki-Takis tonight?" I was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna film a bunch." What was I gonna say? Oh, first of all, sign up for TikTok. and then follow at wolfpackracingusa.com. And then the first thing you need to do is find in the bottom left, there's a little search magnifying glass. Click that and just do hashtag stop it white people. And this guy, you will die.
So, sir, I'm going to need you to take a step back, look at your life, and stop it, white people. White people, stop it, okay?
Because the reality of it is that in general, we do stupid shit. Like picking up snakes. It's just not something. And it's not something that all people do. This guy just finds videos of white people doing really stupid stuff.
Yeah.
The other thing is like, what's the one that they talk about? Drunk white girl. It's like hashtag drunk white girl.
I hadn't seen that.
If you do some of that, it turns out that an intoxicated white girl under the age of like 30 are unbreakable. Like if you watch these girls tripping and falling in streets, walking into like parking meters, running and running into an all glass wall, trying to hit the door, like unbreakable. So I don't know. I used to be that way. I'm not so much anymore. Like I broke 2 tubs a year ago or 2 toes in a hot tub a year ago.
This is so the white people stop guy, he does this thing too where he talks about like white people cooking. He'll watch videos of white people cooking. He's like, do y'all not know what seasoning is? he's like, stop it, white people.
Yeah, stop
He's
it.
like, if you ever get invited to a black people's cookout, he's like, do not bring potato salad with raisins in it. Who the hell puts raisins in potato salad?
Raisins in potato salad? I never heard of that.
I mean, that's never been a thing. I think this is more for like Southern, like my family, we know how to cook, right? With seasoning. Because now I have been to some folks' house. It's like, do y'all not have salt and pepper? It's just like, because my view, I never put salt and pepper on anything after it's cooked. Because my views is if you got to put salt and pepper on it after it's cooked,
it ain't cooked right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never, even when it's bad, I don't know. So is Sadie there?
I don't know. I think so. Sadie, are you here? You want to say hi to everybody on the podcast?
Say hi.
She says no.
Sadie,
you know there's only like 4 people that watch it and 3 of them work for us. You're one of them. That's what I'm saying. We need we have like 9, 10 employees. We should get at least 9, 10 downloads on this damn thing. Unbelievable.
Did you look at the downloads? I mean, we get decent amount of little downloads.
No, I don't know how to do that stuff. I don't have access to it. But that's fine. I trust you, which is good. We're gonna start promoting this thing because we're gonna start having fun. It takes y'all got to understand. Like fast forward the first 5-10 minutes because it takes us a while, but it'll get better once we start doing this. Not at 6:37. I don't know what time we started this morning, but if we would have done it in Texas, it'd have been good. Speaking about Texas, isn't that where we started this tangent?
Yeah, but
so we were going to the dirt track.
This is the great thing. We just go where it goes.
Yeah, but no, we went to the dirt track. And we ended up getting a suite. And then we were told that we could take some beer from the neighboring suite. And if y'all haven't pieced this out together yet, Ray and I ain't the biggest beer drinkers. We'll drink beer. Fine with drinking beer, but it's not my drink of choice if I want to have some fun.
Especially hot like that.
Yeah. So I don't even know how or who. I talked to that gal, but then we got that manager guy up there, and he decided he could sell us alcohol.
Yeah.
And so I think we ended up buying 2 bottles, didn't we?
2 bottles, yeah.
Yeah, so we got 2 bottles of booze.
2 750s for $120 a piece or something.
Oh no.
Which turns out I ain't never buying Jack Daniels again. No offense, Jack Daniels, but people don't drink that anymore.
So yeah, Saturday nights when we killed the 3 handles. We killed 1.
Yeah.
Or 1.5. We did 1.5 on Friday night. And then I think it was 2.5 Thursday night or Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We drank Thursday night. We drank quite a bit, but we just had we drank all the beer and stuff.
Because we went to Big
Golfing.
Shots, the golf thing, and played some golf and drank some there.
Yeah,
but
Bobby was smacking the ball in the golf thing.
Yeah, it was.
Like he had like a 3/4 swing. It was like only 3/4 back, only 3/4 forward, but he was hitting the heck out of it. Yeah. You were rocking on the ball, so golf was fun, but it was hot.
Yeah, it was hot. Yeah, everything was hot.
Yeah, so but I forgot about the bottles of booze at the damn racetrack. So that was another 2 750s that we drank.
Yeah.
That 17 car was fast. Was there anything cool? Did we see any cars flip over or anything? I don't really remember.
There was one. Yeah, there was one in one of the heats, or was it the main? I can't remember. It was like right off the start. Somebody right reared him, and he flipped over and in turn two.
Yeah, so I don't remember.
Red
a lot of the dirt track race part was blurry to me.
Yeah, and then it was a little. I mean, it was good racing, but I guess. There wasn't as much beating and banging in the street stocks that I was expecting.
Why did we leave with the golf cart?
When?
Remember we had the Rockstar parking right up front, and then when we came back, that jackass wouldn't let us park there again?
We went and picked somebody up to bring them back, didn't we?
Did we go pick up Mike and Bailey?
No, they walked over and came up.
Yeah, because we had to park. Yeah, because I went down and got them. I met them down there, but they walked over. They were parked right out front. But I remember we had to park way down there.
I think it was Maxine and them, right? Because they went and to the hotels and took showers, and when they came back, we went and got them. Is what it was. Maxine, Brock, and them.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, so they didn't come over at the same time as us.
No, because they had went back to the hotel.
Oh, that's right, because we had like 72 people on the cart on the way home.
Well, no, because nobody wanted to ride with us for whatever reason. They thought we were going to be stuck in traffic. Remember, everybody took I was like, we'll be there before you ever get out of the parking lot. And we pulled up and sat there and waiting for people to get there because, of course, we just went.
Did we wait in traffic?
No.
We drove around all the traffic and cut through. We had a golf cart.
That's the beautiful thing about a golf cart.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, you can.
It was good. So then we had truck race. So let's talk truck race Saturday. Did anything interesting? Sheldon Creed wrecked twice. I remember that.
For some reason, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember the truck race at all.
Well, that's because you and I were walking around the pits the whole time.
That's highly possible because we
took the green flag and was before the end of stage one, we were already shuffling down. Because I ran you in a group of 5, 4. Yeah, I took you guys down. Then I came back and got Amy and Maxine and Amanda.
Yeah.
And we came down, and Brian. We came down, and then me and you did tours until green flag.
Yeah, until green flag because I left
of Xfinity.
Because there was an issue on the backstretch that I was handling, nothing major, but it's something I need to handle. So I told y'all were taking pictures on the grid and stuff like that, waiting for the green flag. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and start heading back. I can handle that, and then I can grab the cart and start coming back and picking everybody up. Well, I was walking, trying to find a joyride, and the little carts that go around or whatever. Finally, as I'm getting ready to walk down through the tunnel, here comes a joyride. So that was a good half a mile walk in the 100-some degree heat weather. And then instead of him taking me right, he had one person on there anyway. Instead of him taking me and dropping me off 2 gates this way and then taking her all the way around the front, he took me all the way around the front.
Yeah.
So I was like, it makes no sense, but whatever. So by the time I got back to the and then I get back to the back stretch, and the cart wasn't there.
Yeah, back to burnout.
Yeah, and I was like, "Where's the cart?" And they're like, "At Big Frig." I was like, "No, it's not the Big Frig in the fan zone because I just went by there and nobody's there. Well, it's supposed to be." And so we ended up getting the Forerunner and coming and picking you guys up.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and that was right at green flag, and so. Let's see. The race started out 74 car who we had sponsorship. We had shoe fly leggings, electric fencer, all those stuff for Craig Vogler on there. And that car never turned a lap. Never turned. Went out, blew a battery up. Literally blew a battery up. In the first corner. So that was neat.
Yeah, had a short in the system.
Yeah, so that was pretty neat. 47 car with Kyle was he was fast. I mean, he was awesome. Kyle looked really, really good. Car was driving good.
We were a top 20 car this weekend.
For sure.
We had no issues and everything. It was a top 20 car, and that's good for this team. I mean, we know that we're a top 20. You know, I tell everybody when I talk to them, we're a top 25 team. We run top 25. We hadn't got the finishes this year because of either, some kind of mechanical issue, some kind of we screwed up issue, or a wreck. At Mid-Ohio last week before, I mean, we would have had a top 20 finish, but we got caught up in a wreck. You know, nobody couldn't avoid nobody's fault on our end. But yeah, and then I can't remember how many laps it was to go. I want to say it was like 50 to go or something like that.
On what? Last week?
Yeah, Texas.
Green, white checker.
No, at Texas.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was like 50 something to go or whatever. We had a fuel pump issue, so lost power.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle started out in 35th.
Mm-hmm.
I think he started like 34th or 35th. Drove it up 24th. We pitted. Lost a few spots on pit lane, and then had a pit road penalty for uncontrolled tire, so we went to the back of the field. So we started in 39th, would have been in 40th, but our teammate car was already parked. So from there, he drove it to 21st. We pitted again, fell back.
We didn't lose that many.
We were still like 26. They weren't. Yeah. They were way better. 26th or 28th, I think, and then came back out, was running decent, and all of a sudden just was gone. Yeah. Was just gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just like coming down the backstretch, he come off the corner backstretch, and he had to yank it down to the bottom to avoid getting run over.
Yep.
But yeah, so unfortunately, that stuff happens. Figure out.
Yeah, and it just seems to happen to our team right now, nonstop.
Yeah, and we've talked about that some offline. It's out of our hands, but
yeah, there isn't too much we can do, but it is what it is. So then, that was Saturday. Who won? Kyle Busch won.
Kyle Busch won. Yeah.
There's a shock.
That's shocking.
Kyle won. Did you know Chase Elliott raced in the truck race?
I had seen that I saw that he was going to, but I mean, I think he was pretty uneventful. I mean, I don't think he was. He was in the 24, that A-Shock or whatever, that new energy drink. Like, I didn't even know he was on until I watched last night. So good job promoting that truck series. Yeah.
Two thumbs up for that. We were there, didn't even know.
Yeah. Well, it's like, so I saw the truck, like they had a show truck at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, down there, but I didn't know it was Chase Elliott.
Yeah, I thought it was Vicky at the 7-Eleven.
I'm at 7-Eleven. Y'all want some?
Yeah. So this Hey Hood guy comes out, like he'll watch one of her. He'll start off with one of her videos, duet it, and then he'll walk outside his house and go, "Hey Hood, do y'all know what a 7-Eleven is?" Making fun of her or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the 7-Eleven guy.
All right, but anyway,
yeah, he's pretty funny. So I saw the truck there, and he had an appearance there. Remember, because we drove by and like, "What's going on here?" He's like, "Oh, Chase Elliott," and we were like, "Oh, I'm not standing in that line." And she's like,
I remember saying that now.
Yeah, and she's like, "If you don't have a ticket, you ain't standing in that line no way." And I was like, "Peace."
Yeah,
and so
we were on a golf cart.
Yeah, so we were just riding around at that point, just checking stuff out. I think this was before we went to the dirt track with the golf cart, but yeah. So that's the only way I even.
Yeah, and I didn't even know. I guess I'd never even pieced together that Chase was doing that with the 24 truck.
Yeah, well, I saw the truck. Yeah, the truck was there, but
I didn't realize he was driving that truck.
Yeah. So,
well,
but like you said, good job promotion, people.
Yeah, way to go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, Jeb got wrecked. He got turned by Barry.
Yeah. Which, I mean, not intentionally. I don't know. Like looking back at the replay, I mean, here's the tough thing about Texas. It's such a big momentum track. Like, you get a run on a guy, and I know you're going to talk shit to me when I tell you this, but it's just.
Oh, here comes an iRacing comment.
It is, but it is. I mean, all jokes aside, like, there's things that do transfer over, and you'll come off a corner and get a run on a guy. Same thing in Charlotte. You come off the corner and get a run on the guy, and before you know it, you're on his tail. And I think that's what happened to Barry, because he was turning down to go under him, and he barely touched him and spun him. Now, had he been bumping on Jeb before that, I couldn't tell you. I don't know if there was something leading up to or not, because Jeb had put a post up that you can't fix stupid.
Which is interesting.
Which is very interesting because, I mean, stuff happens. I mean, and Josh Berry isn't one of the guys you want to have as an enemy. He's a short track racer, has been his whole life, and he'll dot your I's. He don't care,
Yeah, and
he's a laid back guy. I mean, he just
Jeb said forever he ain't there to make friends on the racetrack, and I fine, and that's his choice. I mean, I don't know. I don't know any of the situations, so I don't have any real comment or any real thing to add to it other than the fact that there was a wreck on the track and Jeb made comments to it.
Yeah.
Did Josh Berry respond? I don't know.
No, I hadn't seen anything, but had Josh Berry hooked him or just come up and just slammed him in the ass in or something like that, yeah. But sometimes you're racing. You're racing cars at 180 miles per hour, inches apart. I don't care how good you are, mistakes are going to happen. I mean, let's face it. Jeb spun last week in Charlotte, or the week before in Charlotte.
Mid-Ohio.
He did in Charlotte too.
Jeb spun in Charlotte?
Yeah.
Man, this is all getting blurry to me. I got to stop drinking.
Yeah, he spun in Charlotte and had a hell of a recovery. I think he finished top. He spun and did some damage to the car when he come onto the apron. He didn't hit anything, but when he come from the track to the apron because it's so steep, did some damage to the right rear. Brought it in. Crew did a hell of a job getting him fixed up so it didn't affect him that much. And I think he drove it back up and had a top 10 finish. So,
yeah,
hell of a finish.
He's run well.
And then he spun, like you said, spun it in Mid-Ohio. So that's my thing. Everybody makes mistakes. You make mistakes, and you're lucky you didn't get into somebody else.
Yeah.
And this one guy makes mistakes. Josh Berry is a hell of a driver. He's done an excellent job.
He's proven that.
He's made some mistakes this year. I mean, in Atlanta when he come through the infield and took out 5 feet of dirt like he was in a back.
Well, he got airborne. I mean, yeah.
He
probably should have put that car on pit road rather than try to cut back up. But I think anybody would have done that.
Exactly. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, unfortunately he got unlucky because wasn't that when Ty Gibbs didn't he go through the infield too at Atlanta and then came back and finished second or something?
Yeah.
He just didn't dig down into it like that. I mean, I and it's the same thing on iRacing.
Oh,
you'll be racing folks, and a mistake happens, and you're the stupidest son of a bitch that's ever walked the earth.
I think the biggest difference in iRacing is that when you spin somebody or something like that, they push a button to reset. They don't spend another $100,000 on a car.
Very true, but they act like you do.
No, that's because.
That's because people are ignorant assholes.
It's because people are a whole lot tougher through the internet than they are in real life.
It was funny. you know
what I mean? Funny. I promise you that there's going to be a 12, 13-year-old kid who's going to talk a whole bunch of crap to me on iRacing. He probably ain't going to say that stuff in real life. And I'm probably not going to say something to the guy that's carrying 4 sets of tires with him in the dirt track, right? That's the whole thing.
You're there and you
see that dude on the internet. Yeah. If I saw him on the internet, I'd be like, I'll whoop his ass. Ain't no problem about it. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I saw him as a human being in real life, and I was like, sir, may I please take a picture by your vehicle here? You know what I mean? I ain't going to touch nothing. I just would like to kneel down by it.
So I'm a pretty laid back guy, man, and it takes a lot to get me riled up. And but the first of this past season in my iRacing league, there's this guy, we're sitting there racing, and he blocked down on me. And when he blocked me, it was the last lap. So what did I do? I just hit him in the ass end, sent him up the track, and went around.
You turned him.
No, he didn't get turned. I bumped him. He went up the track. He did not wreck. But so when we're in these races, you're in Discord in this team chat where it's just you and the guys that you race with all the time can hear each other. We just cut up, talk shit, whatever. Then you got race comms where you can come over during the race and talk to everybody on the track. Well, this guy meant to talk shit about me to his buddies. And he come across the racetrack and I don't know who the fuck this guy thinks he is, but I'll dot his fucking eyes. Da, 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 da. I said, well, you're on the – so I keyed up. I said, Bo, you're on the West Coast. I said, and I travel all the time. I said, so just let me know. We'll meet up. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but – and he comes up and he's like, oh, man, sorry, that was supposed to be in Discord. I was like, yeah. So then probably an hour later, I get a message through Facebook. He's like, hey, man, I didn't mean nothing by that. Da, 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 da. He's like, I checked your Facebook out. You could probably whoop my ass. And I said, this is not a big deal. I was like, we all get, it ain't that fucking important to me. The only time
it is that important to you. By the way,
the only time I get
three F words in the last 60 seconds for you. So you just beep.
The only time I get super pissed is when somebody just does something absolutely stupid. And I'll be honest with you, one thing that I think translates over too is when you're in the car and something happens, you don't really know the whole deal. You don't see it from every angle. Because there's been times that I swear a guy came down on me and wrecked me. And then I, sitting in the pits getting my car fixed, I go out, look at the replay, and I'm like, ooh, I came down on that guy.
So when you're getting your car fixed in the pits, do you ever get up and go grab a bag of M&Ms.
Oh yeah,
I
get pissed all the time.
So it's just like real
just
racing,
like NASCAR.
then.
Yeah, just like I mean, their pit guys hand in stuff through. I mean, they used to smoke running races. I mean,
yeah, in the 70s, you used to smoke on airplanes too.
Yeah, so of course my computer stuff set up to right beside the door that goes into mine and Molly's bathroom in our house. So it's nothing for me to pull in and get 4 tires, fuel, and me piss, and I can do it in 13 seconds.
You pee in 13 seconds.
Yes, sir. Like it's pressure washing. Like there's probably a hole like I'm drilling in the back of the damn toilet because I'm like, I got a great prostrate. Prostrate? Is that right? Yeah.
Why don't you just get a race suit and go? I mean, you're trying to make this shit so realistic. Why don't you just do that?
But people always say that. But then we've talked to Jeb, Ward, Kyle, and all of them about it, and they said the damn belts are so tight you can't pee when even it's like you get out of the car and you're hurting so bad because you got to pee because you couldn't in the car. Because Jeb had to pee really bad in Phoenix, and he says he didn't pee himself. He said I couldn't. He said I ain't going to. Is that just them don't want to admit that they pee themselves?
Yeah, I don't know if they pee themselves or not. I ain't trying to find out. It's a question everybody asks, but like my whole thing is pee before. And I get it that things happen and stuff like that, but like people before, and these guys are professionals, they can do it. And I mean, you're a professional iRace driver or something like that. I think you could probably plan your hydrations out to where you wouldn't have to pee during an hour and a half race. I get it. Like if Amanda was iRacing, if my wife was iRacing, I could understand she'd have to push pause on the game or the race or whatever, or get out during a pit stop to go to the bathroom because she can't go 35 minutes. Amanda gets in the car and it's like somebody flips a switch on that. She's like, I know we just left the house and only made it a quarter mile down to the end of the driveway, but could we stop at the next gas station? So I'm like, are you kidding me?
I have to pee.
Like you didn't know we were going for a 9-hour ride? Because I can go that 9 hours, turn around, drop shit off, and drive back, and not have to pee because I already prepped my body for it.
I can't go 9 hours. I can go about 2.5, 3 because I drink a lot of water. Like Amanda and I both, we drink a lot of water.
Awesome. If you're gonna plan to go on like an 8 or a 9 hour trip, you know what you do? Drink a little less water. Look at that. Molnick's walking in like a god back there. You just see the halo.
Halo effect
comes through there. Look at that.
What are you doing, Molnick? You can't hear me.
You got to be in the camera to be on there. On podcast? Yeah, that's fine. Oh. How come you don't ever want to be on the podcast?
I don't know. I'll be on the podcast.
Here, there's Molnick. He's stopping in to say hi. Do you want to do your Texas Motor Speedway thing? We just got back from Texas. It's pretty early to do it.
This weekend at the Texas Motor Speedway.
That was a bad one.
So we need to tell everybody how you abused your wife in the trailer this weekend.
Oh man, and it was a camper, and I feel bad about it. And that was her birthday morning too.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, so Amanda's the one who set up where we were sleeping, and somehow the sides of the beds got crossed on this, and so like we're sound asleep. It is Sunday morning, which was her birthday. And I don't know, for some reason I had to turn my alarm off. And my alarm usually goes off like 5 or 5:30 or whatever. And I always, my phone sits off to the left side of the bed there or whatever. And the alarm went off. And as my alarm was going off, I was laying that way. And I just reached over and went to hit the alarm or whatever on my phone. And I was on the right side of the bed. So when I reached over to hit it, I ended up just like just smacking Amanda right at the side of her face. She's like, what the I'm like,
happy birthday.
I'm like, oh, hey, happy birthday. Sorry about that. I have no idea where I'm at or what's going on right now. So
that's like that trend that was going around at one time where the wives would wake up, slap the crap out of the husband, and then fall like they were asleep. The husband was like, what the hell? And they're like, what's wrong, baby? What's wrong?
Yeah. Oh, I felt horrible. She was super not excited about that as a wake-up call on her birthday morning. But hey, I didn't mean to. I'm like, dude, I had no idea what was going on. So but yes, that was all good. Yeah. So we survived that. She didn't kill me. We got through her birthday. And then Sunday was the cup race. I gotta be honest. I mean, Texas
Open was
race.
The Open was a lot better than the All-Star race was.
Yeah, I mean, it's still the All-Star race with all the inversions and things like that. I mean, look.
How many times did we go, okay, what are they doing here? Are they inverting 8 or are they inverting this?
I don't think anybody knew what was going on. Kyle Larson drove to the front when he chose to. Inverting the field is interesting, but
It does not, honestly, let's face it, it does nothing at a 1.5 mile track to make it super, super interesting because you can't pass there.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes it interesting. So here's the thing. I'm probably going to go against all these NASCAR geniuses because I also like stage racing. So everybody who's old school, like if Dale was your guy and you've got the number 3 tattooed on your back, well then A, you're weird, and B, sorry, but I like stage racing. I like to have the stuff I like to have the cars grouped up. I like to see that close quarter racing. But here's what I'll say. Inverting the field on a 1.5 mile track, to me, inverting the field anywhere, I think can make it more interesting because your faster cars have to work their way through. They're more likely to have things happen and stuff like that. What I don't like is I don't like the All-Star race. And here's what I mean by that. Is the reason I don't like the All-Star race is because what reason did a Kyle Larson have to drive his way back up through the field when he knows if he's running 13th that they're going to invert the field again, right? Like if you can stay in the middle of the pack, you're going to stay in the middle of the pack. If you go to the front, you go to the back. If you're in the back, you go to the front. Like I get that there was points on it, but if he just maintained and held in the right spot, which he did, he had a huge advantage during the race. So,
well, not true because we discussed that because we were like, what, like you just said, we had that discussion. Why is it important? Why would I want to race to the front? Because your stage finishes basically related to how you were going to start in the last.
Correct. But if he won the first stage, had to go to 12th, and then if he finishes the next 3 or 4 stages right around that 12th place mark, he's going to have the advantage because those other guys were all flip-flopping all the time.
Going into the 5th stage, William Byron was leading to start on the pole, and Larson was like 3rd or 4th.
Yeah,
which I mean, he's still
by far
the
fastest car on the track, so he ran there. My thing is if they do that for stage points, I think you're going to see a lot more racing. I think we all say Texas is a place you can't pass. I think if there's stage points on the line or things like that, you're going to find a way to pass, right? Was there passing in the last 10 laps?
On the restart, yeah. That's
the restart. Once
you're
they
either
spread out.
That's what something that Kyle said. He's like, here's the thing. He's like, you're passing on the restart or 15 laps into the race, guy slides up and you take advantage of it. He said, but
in a cup car,
you're faster in an Xfinity car.
Yeah, but Kyle passed a hell of a lot of people at Texas.
Yeah, but if you notice how he had to set it up, like there was because he about wrecked his crap trying to pass David Starr.
I agree.
And then what he did, he started
in 2 laps. He ran him back down and passed it. So my thing is there's a lot more action in the back of the field that way.
Yeah.
In the top 10 or 12 racing, I agree.
Yeah. And that's what you have in the All-Star race, right? You have the top 15, 16 cars in the race that are all not equal by any means. Well, Eric Almirola, I don't know how the hell he won anyway, because he was horrendous in the All-Star race.
Yeah.
Well, but
he was out front.
Yeah, somebody that you didn't hear anything about or didn't see was Kevin Harvick. Like, I think he was running mid-pack the whole time. But
was he in the race?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's
something
because
you said
Stuart
about
Haas
like
pissed NASCAR off.
I don't know about that. I think Stuart Haas just for some reason didn't do their homework. But you're
Texas
talking about stage racing. You like stage racing. The problem with stage racing is the reason we have to have stage racing. That's the problem with stage racing because the cars get so spread out because of what we talk about all the time. The better teams having the more money and putting it in, and this follow the leader and this, that, the other, and it gets boring as hell. So they bunch.
Do you think the chase has made NASCAR more interesting or less interesting?
The playoffs or the playoffs?
Chase, isn't it called the Chase?
They
named it after their favorite driver.
No, when it first came out, it was the Chase, but now it's just the NASCAR Playoff Series.
They had to change it because that was their favorite driver's name.
But I mean, so
have you seen the tiki-taki where the guy is like does the commentary of Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson racing, and he's pretending he's NASCAR. He's like says he's like the NASCAR radio, and he's like yes, 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 and Chase Elliott's leading. I think it was at Sonoma, and then Kyle Larson comes up and makes the pass on him, and he's like, "Fuck!" This is the worst thing that could ever happen. He's just going absolutely crazy about it and all this stuff.
I
And he's
haven't seen that.
like, our black sheep and blah, 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 and all this. And Kyle Larson just drives away.
But is he a black sheep? I mean, I get it. He made a mistake
Kyle
last
Larson?
year. Yeah, and
I made his mistake, but it's just NASCAR.
Why don't you make that? Why don't you make that the story, a redemption story? That's the thing.
Because NASCAR don't want to bring it up.
Well,
NASCAR doesn't want to
they bring it up every time they show Bubba Wallace when he's not even in the All-Star race, but you look on the broadcast and they're sitting there talking about it.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with what Kyle Larson said. I mean,
but it's just
like the reality of it is NASCAR swept that under the rug because they needed another star to come in, and they're waiting. And Kyle Larson has Valvoline's jumping on board. I just saw a picture.
Well, they had already agreed. He's already run one Valvoline race. I think he's got 4 this year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but reality is that somebody they suspended for doing something got himself back in, and now he's whooping everybody.
I saw a thing last night on Facebook. It's an older interview. I don't know when it was. I didn't look at the dates, but it was with Tony Stewart, and this guy asked him, it's like, and the guy looks at Tony and says, since is Kyle Larson the best talent that's in NASCAR? And he said, Kyle Larson is 10 times better than me and anybody else on that track. And he said, and it's not in just one car. He said, I remember the first time he ever rolled into Eldora, he ran a midget and won. He ran a silver car crown and won, and he ran a sprint car and won in one night.
Yeah. Well,
he said he's a plug and play guy.
Kyle Larson got bored with whooping everybody's ass in sprint cars. So he decided he was going to try to run a late model, and I think he finished second in the first race he ran.
His first ever World of Outlaw.
Beat the hell out of everybody every time he ran after that.
Yep,
he's unbelievable.
Stewart said that he said he is he said he's a plug and play driver. He's like, most guys have to take some time and think about what they're doing, think about the differences in the car. He said Kyle Larson, you put him in the car, he just figures it out.
Yeah, he just starts driving.
Yeah, he just starts driving, and he said, and he figures it out. He said, you put him in a car in 20 laps, he's just it's unbelievable. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, out of the last 5 races, Hendricks has won them all, and Larson's won 3 of them. Yeah.
Well, and I think in the last 5 or 6 races, they've had 2 times that they've finished outside of the top 5.
So out of the last 5 races. Who won? Who placed second this weekend at the All-Star?
Elliott. And Byron was Byron third?
I can't remember.
Looking right now. You keep going with the podcast. I'll find the answer.
So anyway, I know. So it was it last week? They said that was the first time in 50 plus years that a team has finished 1, 2, and 4 consecutive races.
Something.
So if Chase finished second, it's now 5 consecutive.
Oh no, Keselowski finished second. Chase was third.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Hendrick just fell apart because they had a 6th and a 7th this week.
They just fell apart because they were 3, 6, and 7 garbage. Yeah. But how crazy was it? It just goes to show with the air package, though, you're out front. Because hell, Keselowski and Blaney, when Blaney got out front at one stage, Keselowski and Blaney took off and put.
Well, all of them were up there. When you break it down, Logano was 4th, Blaney was 5th, and Keselowski was 2nd. So they had 2, 4, 5 versus 1, 3, 6, 7.
Yeah, but
Where
they ran away
Toyotas?
In the 2nd or 3rd stage. Keselowski and Blaney put a half a straightaway on everybody else on the field.
Did Denny Hamlin wreck?
Yeah, he got in the back of somebody off of something. One of the because the only wrecks they had, I think, were in the first stage when
Eric Almirola finished 8th.
Yeah, but Denny got in the back of somebody that poked a hole in his car or something like that. Because then they come in and fixed it, but the tape come off and it caused them to go to crap again or something like that.
Who knows?
Yeah. Again, it's just that 1.5 mile racing is super, super aero dependent. That's something I do hope the next gen car is going to fix. You look at these cars sitting on the grid, and we've been lucky enough to be close enough to them, and it looks like the right rear fender is 3 feet wide, where the left rear fender is a half foot wide, and the front fender looks like it's a parachute on the right side. So that's some stuff that I am looking forward to see how it affects. to see how that stuff goes. But again, we just go back to the same thing. The guys with the most money are going to figure it out quicker, right? So,
like I said, they can make these cars as equal as they want.
I think it's going to make it closer, but the dominant teams are the dominant teams unless this car really truly does what they say it's going to do, which is going to put it in the driver's hands.
If this car is as equal as they say it is, we'll find out in Phoenix and Vegas, because Daytona's a crapshoot. If they run the same schedule, it's going to be a crapshoot. Daytona road courses are always going to be road courses, right? Like Elliott's
going to be road courses, but that still should.
Yeah, but I mean, road courses are going to be picker. I mean, that's truly a dominant driver, a driver dominated thing right now anyway, right? So road course is going to be what it is. Daytona's going to be what it is. And then Homestead is where they're going to figure some stuff out. And then you're going to have Phoenix and Vegas that they run after that. And that's where you're going to see, by the time we get to that 5th race of the year, you're going to see that the elite teams will be the elite teams and the other teams will be back there. So it is what it is. I mean, hey, good job, NASCAR. You're trying to do something. My whole thing is hopefully whatever they're doing makes the racing good, because it is horrible watching Cup racing right now.
The mile and a half, especially. I mean, the All-Star race, I've always
Are you looking forward to Michigan in the Cup race?
I know. That's a mile and a half, isn't it? Or is that a mile?
No, it's 2 miles. Isn't Michigan 2 miles?
I don't think it's 2 miles.
I thought it was closer to 2 miles. I thought Indy, Michigan, I don't know. Hell, I don't know. I don't even know anything about NASCAR. I just get on here and I make shit up as I go.
That's pretty much what we do. Did you watch the SRX race by chance yet?
No.
Yeah, I watched it the other night. It was somewhat interesting. I mean, there was a lot more beating, banging, and stuff like that. So I guess it was a little more interesting. The
length of the Michigan International Speedway is 2 miles.
2 miles, okay.
And they can hold 137,243 people.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Michigan. I've never been a big Michigan fan. I mean, I like my short tracks.
So I was completely wrong on Texas Motor Speedway. I had several people ask me this weekend, because this is one of the things in NASCAR. Everybody always looks at the stands and says, man, they're empty.
Yeah.
They're empty. Ain't nobody there. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I kept telling people that I figured, and I don't have numbers, but I just guesstimated. I figured at the Truck Xfinity race that weekend on Saturday, I figured there was 35 to 40,000 people there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing that based on capacity that I thought was 140,000 people. The Texas Motor Speedway capacity is over 183,000 people.
Yeah.
That's why it looks empty, y'all, is because if you put 100,000 people in a place that holds 200,000 people, it's going to be 50%.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of people there.
There was a lot of people.
What are you Googling? We should start our show called We'll Google That for you.
I was trying to see see if I could find how many people they actually had this weekend, but they don't release those numbers like they used to.
No, they kind of keep everything close to the chest.
Yeah,
but I bet there was 95,000 plus. I bet they were pushing 100,000 on Sunday. Actually, I bet they were more than that. I bet they were more than that. Now that I know that it seats 180, I figured that they were, they coming out of turn 4, there wasn't crowd, and right into turn 1, there wasn't a whole lot. But the grandstands through the center were full.
Yeah.
And that's maybe 25% that was completely empty.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet they were over 100,000.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, Saturday was not that well, but I think that.
No, but I think if you put 35 to 50,000 people there, that's 25% capacity in that place.
Yeah. Yeah.
50,000 people is 25% capacity.
And not counting that's not counting and you're not counting the people in the RVs and all that either.
Yeah. Yeah. So
the infield was pretty full. I mean, there were some barren spots, but it was pretty full. The Burnout Alley was packed. It was sold out.
Well, if there's 35,000 people there, that's as much as there is for an NCAA Final Four game, and everybody talks about how busy that is, right? Like if NASCAR cut the stadium seating out and didn't have these huge arenas like they have, or these huge facilities that they have, everybody be talking about how this is the busiest thing in the entire world.
Well, you got to think too. It goes back to the people that once Dale died, the sport went to shit, right? Which I don't agree with. But you look at what it used to be, right? Where Burnout Alley is now, that was grandstand seating.
Yep.
I talked to a guy yesterday at New Hampshire. This past year, they took out grandstands and some suites and put camping there. So, used to, they'd sell out Texas Motor Speedway, front stretch, back stretch, and everything else. Well, now you don't have that. And, and I tell people all the time, I don't think it's because the sport is not as popular. Now, the 2000s, every sport has their era, right? Early 2000s, you could do no wrong in NASCAR. I mean, that's when everybody was getting stupid money to drive them, stupid money to sponsor them, stupid money for TV, stupid money,
which was a fraction of what they're doing now.
Yeah. And, but the problem is, people, well, nobody goes to the races anymore. Well, why should I? We go and we have a great time, don't get me wrong, and I enjoy going. But as a guy that's got a family of 3 that wants to go to the race, I can sit home, watch it on my TV, listen to the drivers through my phone. Yeah. Look at the in-cars through my phone. I'm not having to sit, it's just more access than what they ever had. So I think that cuts a lot of people going.
For sure.
I'd rather watch it. If I go to a college football game, I'll be honest with you, other than just the atmosphere, like I like going to college football games maybe once or twice a year to hear the bands playing, the buzz, and they get involved and this, that, the other. But if I'm really going to watch the game, I'd rather watch it on TV.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I can see everything that's happening. I see the replays, that type of thing. And I think it's just got the same thing with NASCAR because it's great. Like the first time I walk into a track after being off for the off season, and I smell the fuel burn and I see the smoke, that's like, oh yeah, it's back. That's it's fun. It's good. But at the same time, like, hell, Eric Jones wrecked. All I saw was the smoke of him wrecking. And then of course, Big Hoss is like 2 here. So I'm trying to turn the corner to look. Couldn't really see it. And because the way the sun was, the TVs on the outside of the RV we had, you couldn't really see it there either.
Yeah, and I'm changing that next year, just so you know that too. We're gonna move that tent, the big tent, up front more, and then I found where the feed is, so now I have an actual live feed from the track.
That's what we had. We had a live feed from the track.
No, we weren't even plugged. We were plugged into that satellite one up in the front corner. There's a live feed from the track, so we can run a cable out when we put our tent up front. We'll put just like we do in suites. We'll put a TV in each corner. And then you can watch
the live feed because we were watching live feed because remember we were sitting there watching the guy twirl the ropes.
Oh yeah, maybe we were.
Yeah,
we had all them other channels.
Yeah,
I don't know. We were not hooked into the spot that Steve told me that's the NASCAR broadcast spot.
Oh, well, that might be the spot to get the Fox broadcast in, maybe.
Yeah, no, we'll figure that. We're gonna figure that out though, which would be cool.
Yeah. No,
but I think that's the other thing is having the TV to where we get people sucked up to that front, and some of that stuff would be better.
Yeah, because I noticed when we were walking down, passing out the tumblers for Big Frig, there were several guys that had like 46, 50-inch TVs just set up right there.
Yeah.
In fronts, and there were some guys that had them big ass swamp coolers, the big, like 8 foot by 8 foot fan radiators or whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna have some of that too.
That'd be nice. That would be real nice.
Some big fans blowing through some stuff.
Yeah.
We got a couple ideas we'll change. We're going to have a call today at 10 o'clock on that.
Yeah, to have some discussions. But all in all, everything was great this past weekend. And,
I think it was good.
Stuff, so off to Nashville this weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got to talk about this.
Well, we don't know what's going to
make our picks.
It's been several years since they've been to Nashville. Most Xfinity drivers have never been to Nashville.
No, and when's the last time Cup ran in Nashville? Yeah. Did they? I can't remember a time that Cup ran in Nashville.
It's been a long time. I remember it because of the Sam Bass guitars that they used to give away.
Keep talking. I'm Googling it for us.
I'm Googling. Both of us are Googling it. Why do you get to Google? I want to Google something.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Why can't somebody else help us? This is where doing it live was nice. Everybody tell us that.
Yeah.
I can't find anything. Did you find anything?
I'm looking right now, but I don't see it readily available.
All right, so I'm going to make up a date and say I don't know. So I don't know when the last time they raced there. It doesn't matter. But I can't ever remember them going there, but I haven't paid that close of attention the last 10 years. So
yeah.
I never remembered Nashville on the track. So anyway, who's your pick? Because I think you had Kyle Larson this weekend, so I'll let you pick him again.
So Nashville, Nashville's a little flatter than what most of your mile and a half are. How long?
I thought Nashville had more banking than that.
It's flatter.
What?
Yeah, Nashville super.
See how we're prepared for this? I mean, people think we don't do any preparation for this podcast.
Yeah.
We have this all planned out. We knew all this information about the track.
Mile and a half. Banking's only 14 degrees.
All right.
Yeah. So, let's see. What's per year prior to 2010? Yeah, I don't know when. Let's see. Closure 2012. Effectively shutting it down on August 3rd,
1.33 miles. So it's a mile and a third?
Something like that. But the last time it closed down August 2011.
Okay.
It's a mile and a third, and it's flat.
Concrete.
Yep. The flatter tracks, I like the Penske cars on the flatter tracks. If you think about New Hampshire, Blaney, Kozlowski always run good there. Somebody we hadn't done a lot of talking about other than Martin Truex Jr. is Joe Gibbs Racing. They just hadn't. I mean, other than Xfinity with Ty Gibbs, they hadn't been setting the world on fire other than Denny, finishing, top 5. And because he had
Truex has what, 2 wins or 3 wins?
2 wins. That's what I said, other than Truex.
Yeah, and Kyle's got a win. He's been there. I mean, Kyle's the only one that's competitive with the Hendrick cars right now. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So who's your pick for this weekend?
I'm gonna go with Blaney. I like Blaney.
You're gonna go to the Fords, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna stay in the stable. I mean,
now which stable? Because your stable is usually Joe Gibbs Racing. Because
I'm done. I'm not on a fresh. Well, wait, there's practice, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Kyle.
So we're not.
You let him set up a car. Yeah, my bad. That's my bad. You let him set up a car. He's gonna run in the top 5. So I'll take that. You got a chance to win it.
We hadn't been at really any other ovals where we've done practice, right? Well, Charlotte. He had practice in Charlotte.
And he finished second.
No, he didn't.
3rd.
Nope.
4th. I don't know. He was the only one that wasn't Hendrick in the top 5. I don't know which spot he was in, but he was the only non-Hendrick car in the top 5.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, that's the hard part is as good as he's going to be, I still don't know if it's good enough to beat Hendrick. I'm not saying Hendrick's cheating. I'm saying they got something figured out.
Oh, yeah.
No one else has figured out, and it's tough to pick against them right now. So, outside of a fluke, I mean, I want to pick Kyle. I'd say Kyle's going to run in the top 5, but reality of it is that until someone proves they can beat him, I'll take Kyle Larson.
I mean that's a smart move to make. I mean, but so we just pick who we want to and double pick, no double picks. Is that?
Well, I don't know why we wouldn't. I mean, we're not tracking this shit. I can't tell you who we picked 2 weeks ago. I can't tell you who I picked for Sonoma.
I picked Truex for Sonoma.
Well, then I probably picked Kyle Larson. I don't know who I picked.
I don't know. I think you picked Elliott.
Oh, I probably picked Elliott. So there's another 1-2 finish. I mean, the reality of it is if we have a genius in between us here, you would take either Elliott or Larson, and I would take Elliott or Larson, and then just an argument of whether we finish 1-2 or not.
Yeah, it'll be funny. Like, so the old adage is if you come in and you dominate for too long, all of a sudden NASCAR starts taking some of your toys away, right? Some of the stuff that's borderline, that's in that gray area, which they said that, like, talking to, I watched a podcast with Chad Knaus last year. They said going into the playoffs, like they had some stuff that they knew would work that they hadn't used that year because they didn't want NASCAR to take it away from them. And see, here's the crazy thing: we never hear about that stuff.
Oh, hell no.
They never report that stuff because they're not breaking a rule. They're just at that point they tell them don't bring it back because next week it's illegal. Just like the famous T-Rex car from Hendricks that just at Charlotte just destroyed the field. Nothing on that car was illegal. Until they went in, they called him after that race, they called him into the hauler, and Bill France looked at him and said, "Don't bring that car back next week." And they said, "Well, it's not illegal." He said, "It will be tomorrow morning."
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so that's the crappy thing. And when you do figure something out to make competition, more competitive, we're going to take your hard work away from you. But at the same time, we have this discussion all the time about money and you take the money away, but what do you do about the ingenuity? You take the ingenuity away by doing this cookie cutter car, and that's what built the sport. I love, like, my favorite thing to do is watch documentaries on like Smokey Yunick, on Junior Johnson and these guys, because these guys were the ones that's why NASCAR wrote these rules. Smokey Yunick took a car and put it in the river behind his house so he could see how the water was going to act on the car as a wind tunnel before they had a wind tunnel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just, but I also get it. If you're trying to make it competitive, you got to put on a good show. You got to do something to bring it back. And here's my thought on it. Instead of this cookie cutter car, this, that, the other, why don't you just put a spending cap on the teams? But if you do that, then all of a sudden the manufacturers,
when you put a spending cap on the teams that are paying NASCAR to make sure they're getting their shit the way they want it are going to be unhappy about it. Oh, come on.
How are they paying NASCAR?
You think NASCAR doesn't have agreements with advertisers and things like that are involved on those race cars? You think that Hendrick Motorsports, you think Colleague Racing, they interview Chris Rice every single week because they're not trying to make something out of what's going on at Colleague Racing right now?
I think they are, because
I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but Dale Jr., here's the deal. Dale Jr. is still the biggest damn name in this sport, right? 100%. Dale Jr. drove his daddy's car that he bought. Awesome podcast about how he got his hands on that car. And he paced the field at Darlington with it. And the broadcast never freaking showed it once because it was on Fox.
That's not NASCAR.
But it's on Fox, and he's a broadcaster for NBC. So they don't talk about him at all on Fox. That's what I'm saying is, at what point do people in this world realize NASCAR don't give a shit what people want to see, and neither does Fox or anything. They care about who's paying the bill.
See,
you can argue that all day long, but
I disagree with that, because the simple fact is, if the broadcast is shitty and people stop watching, it hurts NASCAR. NASCAR has no control.
NASCAR doesn't care. NASCAR does not make a fraction of the money on people that they make on TV.
No, but if people are not watching, guess what the broadcasters do when they come back and renegotiate contracts? Well, we're not getting the viewers, so we're not. Here's the thing: how many races?
Just like the UFC selling, right? That's the whole thing behind it.
Pay-per-views is a whole different thing, though.
If ESPN has a right to get NASCAR or put it on Hulu Plus or anything like that, where you had to pay to have a subscription to it, they would make plenty of money. So NASCAR puts a good enough product out that they could sell it cheap for not sell an individual race, sell a season package to it, and they would do just fine.
Why don't they do it then?
Just fine. Because the contracts with Fox and NBC are way too big right now to even worry about it.
Okay, so if Fox and NBC put on shitty broadcasts and people get tired of watching it, because we had this discussion at the 600, like all they showed was Larson leading the pack, and there was some decent racing in the back. I'm not going to say it was great by any means. Show that shit, right? But if Fox and NBC keep deciding to put on these crappy broadcasts of these shitty races and not really walking through the field and talking about what's going on in the back of the field, and people get bored watching. How many times, have you or I or anybody else said, like, I watched the first part of the race, I sleep through the middle part of the race, and I wake up to see what's going on at the end of it?
I'd like to see the numbers on how many people are watching in-car cameras, how many people have NASCAR Live downloaded onto their phone. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that don't sit and watch NASCAR races. They watch highlights of races and things like that. When it becomes a live broadcast that you can plug in and out when you want, it's going to be hugely popular. Fox, NBC, they all know it. And it's going to go that way. It's going to go that way soon because everything already has, right? Like UFC, ESPN has it, but you want to watch the main pre-fights and stuff like that, you've got to have ESPN Plus. It's their $4.99 app you've got to buy. NASCAR is going to do the same thing eventually. But right now, there's just too much money in what Fox and NBC are paying them. Well, you want people to watch the races. You want the attendance to be huge on races. Put it back on the main channels.
Yeah, and they're not. Like, how many? That's what I was going to say. How many races have actually been on Fox this year versus FS1? Even the Cup races. Like, 2 years ago, most every time you turn on the Cup race, it was on Fox.
Yeah, not anymore.
This year it's been very few and far between. So I don't know. It's one of those deals that I guess there's people smarter than me that run NASCAR and all this kind of stuff because it's a multi-billion-dollar company or whatever. But it is what it is.
Yep, it's above us.
Very much so. Very much so. So I guess we.
All right, that's it for me.
Yep. So guys, we appreciate you, everybody tuning in and
follow us on Tiki-Taki. We need to do plugs at the end. Go to Tiki-Taki, follow at WolfpackRacingUSA.com because, well, we're blowing up. We had a Tiki-Taki with Kyle that has almost 50,000 views now.
Yeah, which I still don't understand how.
And I got a Whataburger app on my phone now, y'all. Look at
that. How much Whataburger did? Well, you never. Yeah, we did. We went. You guys.
I don't know how to check that.
Yeah, because you went.
But Amanda ain't yelled, so I don't know how much we spent. But
she didn't yell, or did you?
No, she wasn't. She didn't yell at me yesterday, and so she was doing numbers in here, so I have no idea. But I imagine there's probably likelihood that I got to put it under my personal card, so she probably didn't see it.
So she didn't see it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, man. We'll talk to you guys later.
See ya.